on this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock.
The June 2025 core update is over, and it was literally off the charts.
Why merchants may soon have to open AI their wallets.
And we talk through Google's new conversion settings layout view.
All on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Monday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Greg Finn.
I'm Julia Mateer.
I'm Jess Budd.
And it's officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on July 21st, 2025. Welcome back. We were traveling this week. We just got back last night. We are here for the show for you. Any thoughts on travel, guys? We were all just together for like way too long.
Yeah,
We were so fun.
way too long.
Way too
Yeah,
long.
we were on the ground for like 24 hours.
It
felt like a week,
But
yeah.
I just kept saying that. Like, oh, this is too short. We need to go earlier next time.
No, so fun.
I mean, also, like, it took you a long time
Yeah.
to get
yeah.
there. So I feel like that helped.
I woke up to text from you yesterday morning at 3:30.
Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning of last week. And there's this text thread. Woke me up. There were so many texts going on. And our flight was canceled. It was supposed to leave at 6:20-ish in the morning. And it got bumped to like 11 o'clock. And so we had to scramble. I had to meet Maggie at 5 a.m. at our roster office, drive all the way to Buffalo, and then fly past our location to Chicago, and then back to Cincinnati. And one of the flights, it was broken for us, and the seat wouldn't stay up. And so I guess that's a big thing in aviation.
Yeah,
And
you got to be upright.
yeah, they're like, we're gonna bring the mechanic on board. And we're like, all right. And it's a seat right in front of me. And I watch this guy, and he's like,
Give me some light. Now I can't see.
couldn't figure it out. And he just takes the seatbelt and buckles it and just pulls it as hard as he can. So it's like forced upward and just puts little stickers on there. It's like out of service. And then it's like, all right, finally we can get here. It's been like the longest morning ever. And they're like, well, there's something wrong with the plane. And I'm like, oh, this doesn't sound good. Like Final Destination style stuff. And like, we're going to turn it off and turn it on again. I'm like,
The whole airplane?
that's the answer. And they turned the plane off. And it was already hot. They turned the plane off. It was eerily quiet. There's no air. Everything's dark.
Oh.
And then the plane like starts back up. It took like 5 minutes too to restart a plane. Who knew?
It works with computers when things aren't working.
Right.
You just restart
They're
it.
like, oh,
We're good to take off.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't hear any of that. And that's kind of crazy about
Yeah.
the chair.
Yeah.
And I always wondered why they have to be.
YouTube. Yeah.
Oh.
It's so weird.
I don't know how I feel about that. But you made it.
Yeah.
And it was great. And we were already there for a couple of hours having a great time. And then you guys showed up. And then we left at 11:30 the next morning
Yeah.
to go back. And there were more delays. You came back to Buffalo, had to drive home to Rochester, drive back here this morning to record the show.
Yeah.
And you're still smiling.
Yeah. The
Wow.
other funny thing is just trying to get back to the airport. I'm like, oh, let's go with an Uber XL. It comfortably
Oh my
fits 6
gosh.
people. And so we're like, okay, we're kind of like cutting it a little bit close to get back to the airport, but we're okay. The Uber shows up and it's like a Kia Sorento. And there's like we have 6 people with like 6 bags. And he's like, this isn't going to work. And we're like, it's got to
It's
work.
gotta-
So we're like, everybody's in like nice clothing. We put 2 bags in like the trunk. That's all we could fit. And then we get up and everybody's just like, bag on your lap. And we're like squished into this car with everybody with bags on their laps. Just like, it was crazy. We're like, it has to work. And the driver was cool about it. But
Yeah.
it's like, that is not an Uber XL. You cannot fit.
That drives
No.
me nuts. Yeah.
That's not fair. I mean, on the way in, we ordered a car for 4, and so then it said a Camry was coming, and same deal. We're like, we can't
Yeah.
do this. We have bags. It's not going to work. So we were able to cancel that one and get an XL. And even then, it was only 4 of us, and we barely fit
Yeah.
I
I feel like
feel.
you'd think about that if you're picking people up or dropping them off at the airport.
at the
like,
airport.
they have luggage.
Typically,
Yeah.
people fly with at least a bag.
Right.
hmm Yeah.
But it was a really fun trip. Did you guys have a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
well worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Great conversation. It was
Amazing.
kickoff with a new client. So it was really important for us to be in person and understand their brand. And it was totally worth it, but it definitely like a fly by the seat of our pants and skirts and got in, got out.
And I need to clarify something too. Last week, I was like, hey, I don't do business the right way. And all you guys understand that, but like other people are like, whoa. And it's like, no, I just care more about doing great work and not about overloading people with projects just for like profit and things like that. And even like this show, like nobody in their right mind would be like, hey, let's just go burn all these resources doing a show like this. It's like, oh, I think it's different and I think it will work. And it like does. And so when I say like business differently, like I want us to do the best. I want everybody here to like be their best and not like profit at all costs type thing.
Yeah.
So
It actually is a good way to do business, to care about your people. You get better output that way when people are not burnt out and they enjoy their work and have time to do it. So
yeah, it's like the way I've always wanted to do it. And that book, Unorthodoxy, right here by Gil Gildner is great. It's just like whenever we have an idea, we just put out our TikTok is funny and we just did something and they're like, hey, would you be match types? And I'm like, yep, I'm going to go for it. I probably shouldn't be rolling around on the floor as the owner, but I don't care. It's the way I want to do business and it's fun.
Yeah.
And I like it.
yeah. And our clients love us for it. If you can't show your personality, what are you even doing?
Yeah. So we're revolutionizing business.
There you go.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm trying
That's
to
a good way to put it.
That's fun to get there, out there. We are doing business very well. It's just not the standard, typical way
Yeah.
of doing business.
It's our way.
It's the better. It's honestly
No,
it's
yeah,
the
it
better
is.
way. Like, why would you want to be so stuffy and so reserved? I don't know.
No, that's how agencies get a bad reputation, from being that way.
First up in the main news this week, the conversion settings panel in Google Ads has been updated. This confused me so much earlier this week when I went to set up something new in there. I was like, thought I lost my mind, but it's just a cleaner layout and some updated controls. So
Wait, do you like it?
no, I don't.
Why?
But I only don't like it because I don't like when things change. If you ask me in like 2 weeks, I'm sure I'll like it.
I think it's cool.
Yeah. But
You
just
can
like seeing
see-
it at first, I was like, ugh.
I just like how it's like laid out. You can
Yeah,
see
yeah.
all those super easy. I know you could either way,
Yeah.
but
It's definitely better. I just need time.
yeah, I dig it. I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like more is more in this case.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Where you can just see everything at once,
Mhm.
which is nice. Wow, I didn't know you're such a hater.
I don't hate it. I just like don't like when things change.
Yeah.
That's
You're trying
life,
to do
Julia.
something
Yeah.
quickly.
And then I just had to sit there and reread it all. It's-
yeah.
That's life, though.
In that moment, I did not like it.
Okay.
You might like this.
Okay.
I don't think you will.
Okay.
Glenn Gabe shared something, I believe, from The Information, and he says, here we go. I just love when he recaps articles. OpenAI adding e-commerce checkout to Chat GPT, taking a cut of sales. Yeah. So this is a quote from the article. It says, merchants that receive orders placed through ChatGPT's checkout will pay OpenAI a commission, the report said, a new source of revenue for OpenAI. OpenAI and partners, including Shopify, have been presenting early versions of the feature to brands. So it sounds like you'll be able to make a purchase, again, right in ChatGPT. I'm assuming you'll have to use one of these e-commerce partners, though, to make that happen. And then OpenAI gets a cut of that. You're probably also paying merchant fees to Shopify or whoever else you're using. So,
Well, I would assume that it would be for everyone, not just Shopify people.
other partners too. It said it didn't name them. But how else are you going to get your checkout into ChatGPT? I couldn't get the article. I don't subscribe, so I couldn't read all the details. But
I mean, I would assume they have to like integrate with bigger commerce, like more enterprise commerce solutions too. Not
for
just-
sure, but
not
you can't just
Shopify.
be like, I want my cart. Although I guess, yeah, you're using a commerce solution if you have a cart. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's not just Shopify. They were just the one that was named here.
Yeah. And if you recall, Finstradama said that ChatGPT is never going to be working off of a paid model. They still never will be. We heard that they would be running ads in 2026 was one of the reports that was leaked. This is another reason why you would never try to do a subscription only plan, where if you have more people that are giving you 2% of all their purchases, that's better than less people paying for a subscription, even if it's higher price. You want more people to use the service. I just think that's a slippery slope where you're like, hey, if you want to get in here, it's 2%.
It's
Mhm.
like 2%.
At the moment. and guess
Yeah.
what?
It says
That
like a
number
2%
is
affiliate
gonna go
fee.
up.
Yeah.
And then are they going to only show products that they make essentially a commission on? How is that going to work? Are they going to say, well, you're not in this plan. We're not, even if you submit a feed, because they've talked about having a feed coming soon. Are you just not going to show people if you don't make money off of that? How is that going to go?
Yeah, well, Sam Altman said that they're never going to take money to change placement or whatever.
Yeah.
So
said, don't
yeah.
that was their slogan.
Yeah, I know. And I also wonder if you can opt out. Like, I would think you would want to surface your products, but say you don't want to pay that fee. Can you opt out of that? Are merchants going to have that option?
I don't know. I think this is troublesome because it's almost, would you have to disclose this as an ad even? Or you probably just can say we make a small percentage of it because it's not technically an ad, but you would have to disclose that.
Yeah, it's like an affiliate
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
And it's like if there's one person in the world that like is gonna supervillain, it's Sam Altman.
Oh, for sure.
Like
He's up to something
Yeah.
always. I don't think we've ever said anything good about him on this show.
It's like, oh yeah, I'm not for profit. I'm gonna turn it for profit. Oh, Scarlett Johansson doesn't want to use it. Oh, I'm just gonna do it anyway.
She's
It's
gonna
like,
make it up. Yeah.
I do not.
Give her the 2%.
It's hard to listen to what he's saying because his actions just speak so much louder. So hopefully this is the case, but do I think that there's not going to be favoritism based off of profitability for ChatGPT? But do I believe that? No. I just don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, especially if he's for profit.
Well, he
Gotta
got shut down.
Oh, he did.
Now he's gonna
Okay.
be
I couldn't remember that whole
not
drama. That was a long time
They
ago.
couldn't do it.
Yeah. Good.
They're like, no, you can't do that. Like, thank you. Somebody's standing up to something. Somebody has some morals.
Not us. What else is
I do.
happening? Yeah, I'm just kidding.
I do.
This is a very moral show.
All right. And we've got other big news here from Barry Schwartz. The Google June 2025 core update is officially done rolling out. Barry's got some great stats on there. It launched June 30th, right at the end of June, and was completed in July 17th. So if you're interested in seeing how you are performing pre and post, it's really more like a July core update here. This is across everything. Like we talked about last week, there were a lot of e-commerce implications with this core update. We're actually going to have Glenn Gabe on next week to give the full recap of the core update. So stay tuned to next week's show for that. And what's that noise?
It's time for Barry's Charts with Greg.
All right, we've got some amazing charts here from Barry Schwartz, and our third place chart of the week is from Systrix. I just really loved it. It looked like even when things were launched, it was, as soon as it launched, it just turned into a mountain range.
Yeah.
It's a prairie into a mountain range, a beautiful chart. Nobody could hate this chart, but it's a little vanilla, I'd say.
Okay.
Second place was Advanced Web Rankings with their chart, because at one point in the chart, Barry was screen capping it. It went so high, the screen cap got cut off the top of the chart.
Wow.
So
Into the clouds.
I've never seen Barry crop a chart before. This is the first crop I've ever seen in years of doing this. And it was so high, Barry cropped the top of the loop out.
Barry wore a crop top.
No, but Barry did have a video about the core update, and it was very YouTube-y. He's just like staring into the camera. He's like, oh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Good for him.
Okay, and the winner here is from SEMrush. They really, you saw this plateau at the end of the rollout. And to me, this just looks exactly like Frankenstein's forehead. And you can see his little nose in
Wow.
there, his sunken in eyes and his mouth. And I've got a little picture of Frankenstein right there too. And you can see it exactly looking like that chart. So it's a Frankenstein chart from SEMrush that's a winner. But this was maybe could be an award-winning segment of charts from just this update alone.
A lot of action. And I cannot believe Shep has not been with us throughout this entire update.
Wow.
We
yeah.
announced it. We said it was still rolling, and now we're saying it's done.
That's
and she
crazy.
missed this,
She
the poor
missed
thing.
whole update.
What a slacker.
Oh.
No, she's doing a lot.
She's
and-
also not an organic, so who cares?
Yeah.
She's probably so happy to miss this.
Yeah, she's like, oh my god. She actually planned her vacation around it.
Yeah, it's like I vacation for the updates. And there was a lot of chatter. This is actually a big update. Again, we're going to talk about it next week in more detail. I always love the comments that Barry finds and pulls, and then the comments on the posts. A bunch of items from other folks out there. They said, what on earth is going on? My global widget site has lit up today like an Xmas tree with US traffic so far at up 60%. And then somebody else said, during the entire 16 days of the update, our traffic was recovering. Then on the very last day the update was announced, the site lost all traffic. There were other people that said they're seeing a severe drop in visibility and traffic from both News and Discover since early July, right around the update. So I would just, again, implore you to go check out your Search Console or whatever analytics tool you look at for your organic traffic, because this is a big one. Getting more into it next week.
And now for this week's
Cool tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners and is really, really cool. This week's Cool Tool is from Brahm, because he's the mom.
Wow. Ouch.
Listen,
That was a stretch even for you.
I struggle every week with these, and I try to keep. I don't think I've used that one before. Certainly not in relation to him, although he is the man, and we say that all the time. But seriously, he is. He built a free Looker Studio template that you can look at traffic coming to your site from AI sources with metrics like revenue, average session duration, top landing pages, device breakdown, and a whole lot more. You just grab the link, select your property, your GA4 property from the dropdown, and go. It's very, very simple. Takes seconds to set up, and then you can get those insights that are just, again, isolated to the AI platform sending you traffic. So very handy, Mr. Vanderhalen. Thank you. Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a #fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
This week's Take of the Week comes from the one and only Mike Ryan at Mike Ryan Retail on X. We had Colin Slattery on last week. Got some really great feedback. We're going to keep going with some interviews, some timely things. And this was related to what Colin was talking about. Colin was interacting with Ginny in regards to the privacy standpoint. And Colin said, appreciate your opinion as always. And I think my biggest and strongest takeaway on this is that Google hasn't earned our trust. And if it's good, they should share it. We know from the antitrust trials that the revenue team has fun and talks about the fact about those hidden terms that are out there. To which Mike Ryan quote tweeted and had a fantastic idea. I know we don't give opinions here, but this is fantastic.
We don't give opinions, but
Yes, you decide for yourself. But if you don't like this, you're wrong. Mike said, what if Google were to provide anonymized search term level data on hidden private terms? For example, an alphanumeric string. The worst performing terms could then be excluded via hash on merit, albeit blind to meaning.
that's a great idea.
It's an amazing idea. Okay, so all this stuff has personally identifiable information in it. You don't want to show it. Great. Give us this little number or hashed string, and we can look at that and say, this one, we've spent $10,000 and never made a cent on it. I don't care what it is. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Genius.
I love that.
Like I said, you're wrong if you don't like this idea.
Yeah, good point.
You can't, this is right and wrong. This is certain. It's a certainty.
Take of the Week idea of the century, at least the year.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
or month.
thank you, Mike.
Now it's time for this week's Pew Pew Lightning Round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
First up in the paid universe this week, AI Max for search is now showing up in the recommendations. So it says you can drive 36% more conversions at a similar or better ROI.
Dangerous.
Just in general?
Danger. Yeah.
This is why you don't want to auto apply everything. AI Max should be used, but used with caution, or at least used with intentionality behind it. If you've got very lightweight conversions, this could be terrible. Yeah, you could get 36% more conversions, but what we see with PMax and some of the keywordless matching can be brutal with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, use AI Max if you've got down funnel conversions, if you've got a lot of friction, if you know that things are going to be working, or if you've got things like, revenue, then use it. But we are pro AI Max, but we're pro using your brain and using neurological function when you turn things on and not just auto applying everything.
from your Gmail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next, PMAX has new brand asset rules. So before, brand assets like logos and business names were in the asset group level. Now they're at the campaign level under campaign asset, which makes way more sense to me. I don't know why it was never there before, but whatever. Brand guidelines are now enabled by default. So if you use an API, make sure you update your settings. PPC Kirk posted on LinkedIn that it's crazy how Microsoft Ads only shows change history for the last 6 months. Nava replied to it and asked if 13 months would be better. And then there was some back and forth in the comments. Some people were saying like, all time, 2 years, certain changes should be shown, stuff like that. But she has noted it and is looking into it.
But it's just great to have Nava
I know.
Yeah.
listening.
She
Yeah.
gets it.
You just put a post out and she's like all over it.
I know.
Mhm.
It's like this is exciting times.
This is what we want
Mhm.
from that liaison
Yeah.
position. So, see, Ginny does it too. I'm not saying that, but thank you,
Yeah,
Nava.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know like I cover the organic side of things, but I mainly do like PPC and paid stuff all day long. And when we're on It's New and you're on with like Morty and Barry, it's just so sad. They get nothing. And like Anu and I, we're like, oh, we got this. We got Nava. We got Ginny. We got all these things. And they're like, we can't even see AI mode traffic. It's like sad.
As we all laugh at them. Sorry,
You're like,
guys.
that sucks. Next up, Drew Cannon asked this week if the conversions from scan or send to email actions from call assets, so like the QR code, were reported in conversions, and Ginny confirmed that they indeed are. Mike Ryan spotted that Google's testing a new expandable row in the channel performance report that shows an overview of your feed-based versus asset-based metrics. So under each channel, you can click on a little arrow and it'll show what came from ads using product data versus what came from ads not using product data. I think this is really cool. Okay. Google ads being sus per usual. Samara Hart posted on X about an AdWords administrator making changes in the account. There's no way to see who actually made this change, and a bunch of other people have seen this in their accounts as well. And I think the one that they posted on this was a budget change, which is insane. And you have no idea who actually did it. I also saw someone say they don't even have a rep. Like people are probably like, oh, it's a rep, whatever. Someone said they don't even have a rep, and they saw this in there. So that was just like,
Does it say AdWords administrator in there?
It says AdWords?
yeah.
That's like a ghost.
Yeah.
It's like a literal ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got
The
Frankenstein,
ghost of
we've
AdWords
got
Pass.
ghosts. Ooh. I miss out. Can we talk about that? I liked it being called AdWords. I understand it's so much more than words now, but Google Ads is like so much to say. AdWords had a nice ring to it.
Do you think the ghost looks like Jerry Dishler? And he's just shaking cushions?
I mean, kind of like what, are you thinking of, what is it? The Marley guy with the chains? What am I thinking of?
It's just coins.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh, from Scrooge.
Yes, that.
Budget. Budget.
Yeah, no.
Coins everywhere.
That's actually pretty good. Yeah. Just going in there ruining people's lives.
That's how you know. You get to your couch, you're working from home, running your Google Ads account. All of a sudden you look, your cushions are askew. It's the AdWords administrator ghost.
Glad we found out who it was. Okay, next from Brahm, 4 quick meta updates. Ad rewards for agencies are now available, so clients can earn advertiser credits to pay for their meta ads. You can find it under the Partner Center and then advertiser rewards to opt in. You can also now display business info to encourage call pickup when you create an instant form. So if you call a lead from the app, your business name and logo will be shown on the call. So it'll make people more incentivized to answer. Cross-channel conversion metrics in Meta shows how your ads are driving results across your website, app, and offline conversions. And then when you're running a partnership ad, you can now choose which identities to display. And then last for paid, also from Brahm, he outlined 3 custom columns you need to create in Meta Ads Manager. First one being quality signals, second is go to Google, and third is go to Google rate. If Brahm says you need it, that means you really need it. We'll have the link to his post in our newsletter where he explains how to make them. So check it out.
All right. And this week in organic news, first up, Google Discover is getting AI summaries. I understand why they're doing this. I really hate this from a publisher, webmaster, content creator standpoint, because I just believe it's going to lead to less clicks. In this case, there's a story over on Barry's got it covered over on Search Engine Roundtable. But there's a story in Discover from Bloomberg that says Musk's XAI seeks up to $200 billion valuation in new funding. And above it, there's an AI recap of that. And it talks about, hey, they're looking for this for a $5 billion equity raise. It's the first investment, SpaceX first investment in XAI, and you can see all the information from the article. So I think people are going to click less.
Yeah.
I would say this could be helpful for users, to be fair. If you don't want to go in and read an article, you can just take the stolen content from Google in Discover and just read that aspect of it. We're getting to the point, though, where there's less and less and less clicks. And Discover was one of those things where it's like, you can send more traffic that's interesting to people, and it's just everything is just becoming summaries. And I just don't understand how everything is still going to work in 5 years.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're sitting here reading summaries.
Ooh,
I'm not reading summaries.
We're giving
summaries of articles.
Yeah, but they're funny.
Made by a
Yeah, yes,
Well.
that's true. That's true.
But there's insight behind that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying, this is going to suck for publishers.
Yeah.
For sure.
And we clicked on all these articles.
We sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I just feel bad. I feel bad for people writing. It's going to be gone. How are you going to make money? You just got to get people on your own platform. That's going to be it. And just go direct. All right. Also from Google Changes, it was an article over by Brett Tabke on Search Engine World. And he said it's live. Instagram posts are ranking and showing at Google and Bing. SEO meets social, and has some examples of Instagram search showing up on mobile device where somebody's looking for the best brunch in Miami, Instagram, and Google pulls all of those in. So they said, Brett said, starting July 10th, 2025, search engines began indexing public Instagram content from professional accounts, making Instagram SEO a fresh tool. So make sure you're in that business profile and everything. And Brett has more information talking about the times, what's being pulled in, what like type of media, the captions, and then anything that's public essentially could be eligible for it. If you've been using Google Analytics last week, the real-time reporting wasn't wrong. You still probably have that traffic. It was just broken. So last week, there were many, many people that saw real-time was just broken. So Google Analytics real-time not working. And you could probably just remove like real time from that sentence. Like, Google Analytics broken. And in a wild turn of events, Google will begin for people that want a better version of AI mode in deep search. They'll be releasing a new paid version for AI mode. So Google released Gemini 2.5 Pro for AI mode and deep search for Google AI Pro and AI Ultra subscribers. So if you like love AI mode and you want even more AI in your AI mode, you can get that, but you have to be either AI Pro or AI Ultra member.
Are you going to do it?
No.
I thought you love AI mode.
I like AI mode better than AI overviews.
Yeah.
AI overviews are terrible. Absolutely terrible. I was talking to my dad and was like, hey, there is no league for this age. There's not enough people. And he Googled it and showed the tryouts for the age, the time in July 2025 that was completely hallucinated. I'm like, you can't use AI overviews. Like, they're not right. It hallucinated an age group for a sports team that didn't exist and tryout dates and times that did not exist.
That's
so sad.
someone's
Imagine
going to
someone
show up.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like July 21st and July 24th, 2025. I'm like, there is no lead. There's no team.
Unless a bunch of people go. They all try out.
Oh, that's what
They
it
make
is.
a
They're
team.
trying to build hype.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
using
think-
AI for good.
I think AI was the future of Google. I think AI overviews are the bane of
Yeah.
AI, and it's making people dislike Google more because you show up at this thing on the 24th and you're the only person there and it's fake. And there's no way that there's any citation
Mhm.
that fits that.
Well, I'm going to go and hope that there's tungsten cubes as a refreshment at this event.
All right. Something else that I don't know. You decide. You make the call, Julie. Does this suck or is this good?
Okay.
Google is testing larger favicons in the SERPs, and they've always been small with the business name and then the URL. And now they are nearly the full height of the title in that URL there. So the business name is cut out with this favicon large test, and it is very large. What do you think?
I have mixed feelings because for people whose logo is like their name and it's small and whatever, and they don't have a good one to put there, this is nice.
Well, you probably, if you don't have a good like logo or bug, you should probably get that done. And we
You
can
probably should, but you know what? Some people can't.
they could. You just gotta call us.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just really large.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
big.
it looks gross.
Yeah.
It's messy looking.
The
And
thing
the
I don't
business
like
name
about
is
it,
gone.
Yeah, the fact that that's gone makes it weird.
the business name is gone, and then it's so big it cuts off all the headlines.
It pushes
Yeah.
If you
over. Yeah.
read
Yeah.
the original, and you can see like it's formatted beautifully by Brody Clark. You can see SEO experiment in there,
Mhm.
and you can see like it's a great result. And then you look at this other one, and it cuts it off. You don't even see SEO in it. It's
Yeah.
very different. I don't like it because I like more information than less personally.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a bug, but it was caught that there was within AI mode only showing link cards for some users. So I don't think Google would
Oh.
ever do this, but it just almost looks like the 10 blue links of past, like traditional SERPs.
Mhm.
So I think this is a bug, but somebody did
They
spot
would never.
it. No,
The future of search is the history of search. Love that for them.
That's it in organic. What's happening in social, bud?
All right. First up in social this week, T's and P's to our friend Jill Saskin-Gales. She's been gaslit by TikTok, essentially. She's decided to end the
Hey,
relationship.
what the heck?
What?
TikTok.
Oh, I know. Did you follow this whole saga? This poor woman.
Yes.
It's crazy. She announced earlier this week she's leaving the platform TikTok as a creator, not a viewer, because too many accounts were impersonating her. And they weren't just resharing her content. They were actually messaging her followers, her friends, replying to people that commented on her videos, trying to sell them crypto and other dubious schemes.
Oh my God.
So she's like, I'm done. She put this beautiful post out on LinkedIn explaining why. She's like, I just don't want to do this to my people. I care about my audience. So then she got a notification basically saying that her account is posing as another person and will be removed from search and recommendations. So the impersonatee is being accused of being the impersonator. And then further, TikTok notified her and said, oh, this is just an error. It's happening with many accounts. But like, sorry, girl's already gone.
Yeah.
She has been through enough. She is done.
She's done such a good job educating people on TikTok.
She
and
built-
they're just gonna do her
Yeah.
dirty like this.
Yeah.
Like we got beef, TikTok.
Seriously. And she was so invested in that community, put out so much content, put so much work behind this. And this has just been an ongoing problem. And they're not helping her. Like, she's reached out. Nothing. They're doing nothing.
You guys
for her.
want to hop on another flight?
Yeah.
Let's go
Yeah.
to China.
Let's go.
Oh, I thought you wanted
Yeah.
to go visit Jill and just like give her a hug. Because I'll do
Well,
that.
Yeah, we'll go to Canada first, and
Yeah.
then we'll go straight to China. and We're gonna sort it out.
I don't think I don't have the gumption for that. The real takeaway though, like I'm sure she cannot be the only person this is happening
Oh,
to.
yeah.
This platform is not supporting creators that are very heavily invested in it. You're going to die. You can't do that to people.
So do a favor, go follow her on LinkedIn.
Yes.
Great follow.
Mhm.
You should. You'll get great insights. She does a lot of video content. She puts it on LinkedIn too. Like,
And YouTube.
check her out.
Great stuff
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Absolutely.
I just shared it in our Discord. Somebody's like, how do I do an audit? And I'm like, check this out.
Good news for everyone besides Jill, though. TikTok is adding a new scheduling option to the post composer. So you can load things up, let them roll later. You can set it for a certain date and time, which I do like. It's great for like promotions or new releases, things that you want to get ahead of in planning, but can't go out until a certain time.
I'm
So
gonna schedule
I'll
those
give 'em that.
posts to never.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're really angry today. YouTube Studio users can rejoice. The test and compare feature is getting another element that you can test and compare. Video title. So not just thumbnails anymore, the actual title of your video.
Can I just say something? I follow a creator that already had this, and it's very confusing when the title changes.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
It's because you see it once, and then you're like, I want to go rewatch this, or this person has like after show stuff that you could subscribe to,
Mhm.
and then when the titles are different, it like blows your mind. So
Yeah,
just-
but then are you like, oh, a new video?
We'll watch the same thing.
Yeah, but
that
it's-
would
it's
skew
not
the
a good
results.
experience.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then it's hard to find. So
Yeah.
I think this is cool, but if you have like a lot of like really regular people checking things out, like it could be
I can see that.
dicey.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's rolling out to just a small group of creators at first, but it will expand. So, okay, ready? It's been a couple years since I've said this. Move over MySpace. Facebook now has the option for users to add music to their text-based Facebook posts. So if you are scrolling your feed and have your sound on, you are going to get a cornucopia of audio goodness or not, because I don't know who's going to use this. While you're there, you also might be able to fire up a new Threads account because Meta is testing the option to sign up via Facebook rather than linking to your Instagram account. So giving users more option there, probably hoping to increase adoption. And then lastly, speaking of the gram, access to translations in DMs and DM scheduling are now available to more business accounts on the platform. They're not new features. They have existed, but they're going to be new to many because this was previously a much smaller rollout. So business accounts will be able to schedule sending DMs as well as the ability to translate DMs they get that are not in their language. So, and that brings us to our real life segment. Straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise. All right, working hard for me this week. I just saw a beautiful slide deck that the content was put together by our marketing team, but then we needed to polish it and make it pretty. And our new graphic designer, Annika, just absolutely killed it. She made it very dynamic and the design is there and you can feel it, but it doesn't detract from the info on the slides. And I just really love a polished slide deck. I think they're so much more impactful. So good job, Annika. Glad you're here.
Wow. Hardly working for me this week is making an ad in Google Ads.
Wow.
I think it was like Monday this week. I was trying to just like do the most basic thing, update a URL in one of the ads. And I updated it. And then I was going to go launch it the next day. And so I just like went the next day, double checked it. The URL was the old one. And I was like, that's not what I want. So I updated again, saved it, checked it again. It was the old one. So I updated again, saved it. This happened like 3 times. And then I had to do it in Editor. And when I posted it from Editor, it worked. But it's just annoying.
Be careful, folks.
Yeah.
I love that new asset level reporting within Google Ads. It lets you see really what is having the most impact, a huge change, great change. Like I said, we've been getting a lot of good stuff. And I would just say, if you haven't used asset level reporting, check it out. There's a lot of things that may be very eye-opening to you within there as to what's working and more importantly, what's not.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI. ICYMI, people. This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
ICYMI people, Thomas Cassell and some others have spotted the ability to add negative keyword lists to PMAX.
What?
Yeah. I checked in my account and it's still grayed out for me, but it seems like this is rolling out because some people have it. So
That's going to be so amazing.
I know. It's also just stuff like this. I'm like, why wasn't that just an option to begin with?
Well, because there were no negatives.
Well, yeah, but like, why
Once
not?
we got 'em.
And then we got a few, and then we got more, and now we can have a list. And it's like, why don't you just
I
start
like it
there?
when you get
It's so stupid.
She's mad at Google Ads right now, okay? They're changing URLs.
It's just dumb. Like, why don't you just start like that? But whatever. I'm happy we're here.
Well, you're not.
Yeah, I'm not.
Maybe someday.
Happy some people are here.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
This week's must-read marketing article of the week comes from Search Engine Land and Maggie Humphrey, who was just on that trip with us from Cypress North. She says, how to use Performance Max for high-value customer acquisition and retention. And she has a massive post over on Search Engine Land. And honestly, I shared this while we were traveling. Mike Ryan commented, must-read marketing article of the week on Twitter. So it was voted on by the community. I didn't put it in here. But Maggie talks about how to actually use high-value new customer acquisition, how Google determines new versus existing customers, how the high-value setting works, when you want to use it, some of the retention goals and metrics that she was able to attain with it. And I'm not even going to go too far into it because we are going to talk with her on how you can actually set that up from the new customer side of things and the retention side, and hear some of the results and some of the things you need to look for and some reporting issues. So we are going to kick it over to our interview this week for Maggie to talk about her post, how to use Performance Max for high value customer acquisition and retention. All right. And you just heard about her article on the must-read marketing article of the week. I am here with the one and only Maggie Humphrey, Director of E-commerce here at Cypress North. And Maggie, loved the article over on Search Engine Land this week. Thanks for being here. Have some questions for you.
Thanks. So happy to be here. Ask away.
All right. So you kind of took a two-phased approach with this article, talking about new customer acquisition goals and then also about retention. Is that something that it sounds like obviously you're actively testing in your accounts and doing both with PMAX.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think PMAX is a great tool for both those strategies, which is, of course, a critical strategy for any e-commerce Google Ads account. So I would definitely leverage PMAX for either of those if that's something that's important to you or your clients.
Okay. And so with new customer acquisition, I liked you broke it down very, very well in search engine land. So thank you for that. But if you could just talk a little bit more about the high value customers and how that works. I know in the article you had an additional revenue of about $250 that you would apply to that. Can you just talk through like your thought process on high value customers?
Yeah, so I like to think about high value customers, whether that be retention or new customer acquisition, as more so your top tier customers. Those are your customers that typically have a higher AOV or a higher LTV, their ideal customer profile. So when you're going through and setting up the high value goals within the Performance Max campaign, whether that be for new customer acquisition or retention, you're leveraging that first party data, and that's when the data becomes the most crucial because whatever customer list you're uploading to the account is what Google is looking to reference to find similar customers, or at least find new customers, right? So if we're talking about new customer acquisition, right, high value, I want to go after and seek out new customers who fit my ideal customer profile, which is going to be that high value customer. So that first party data you're uploading, you're telling Google, hey, go out there and find the absolute best customers you can find that are very similar to these customers that are already existing customers of mine. Or if it's customer retention, I want you to go out and find customers who are not currently these specific customers.
Okay. And so just to be clear to everybody out there, if you say I'm uploading this list, these are, our ideal clients or customers, and it matches that list, and let's say we've got that modifier on there, it will then actually look revenue wise more than what may come in because Google has matched it to this high value customer.
Yeah, speaking to the actual value assigned to those customers, I typically think about assigning that value. I like to reference what your average AOV would be for that, or at least a starting point. And then you kind of treat it almost like a target ROAS, where the higher you inch it up, I almost feel like the harder Google has to work to find those customers. That's a higher value attached to it. So you might have to play around with it at first and kind of find the sweet spot for yourself. But I typically recommend starting at $250 in my example, which was our AOV. And then if you have to increase that, you can. Now, what's a little bit tricky about that, you have to make sure to back that out of your final conversion value. So if you have a customer come in that matches the profile that you're looking for and it has that 250 conversion dollar value attached to it or whatever value attached to it, that's automatically going to be calculated into your conversion value. So you have to make sure to back that out when you're actually doing your final reporting for the campaign.
And that's a great point. You put all the formulas in the article where you had like 360 purchases or so. You figured out what that added value was for the high value customer, and then backed it out of the numbers. So instead of like 1.5 million in this test, it ended up being like 1.48 million due to the additional revenue that was added for those high values.
Yes, and going off of that, that's where the new customer column and then the win back customer columns come into play here. You're going to want to make sure you pull those into view when you're reviewing the campaign because what's a little bit tricky about those columns as well is they don't tell you how many new customers you're getting or win back customers you're getting. They're telling you how many purchases you're getting from those customers. So that's how you back the value out. You add that $250 value on top of those ideal customers. You then multiply that by how many purchases populate within those columns, and then you can subtract that from your total conversion value.
Okay, and again, great examples over on Search Engine Land if you want to see it. Everything else is one of the behind the scenes on it. And then I thought the retention aspect of this article was really exceptional as well. So can you just talk about just how like, what do you need if you're trying to go after lapsed customers and try to win those back with PMAX?
Yeah, I really think this new feature is somewhat of a game changer if we can get it to work well. In the test that I performed, it seems, I mean, the results speak for themselves. Every account's different, of course, but the key to unlocking this feature is clean first party data. So in order to get the lapsed customer test to work, we needed a list of total past purchasers. We did within 540 days, and then we did a list of lapsed customers. And that lapsed customer list can be defined any way you want. In our case, it was people who bought between the year 2020 and 2023 one time and have not purchased since.
Okay. And then it seems like it's really similar to how you have to do a little bit of math with what we talked about earlier, where you can see those win back customers. You know that if Google's reporting on those and you have that additional revenue that is associated with those, you need to subtract it out from your total conversion value, as it's sort of that modifier, correct? So similar to get to the bottom of the nitty gritty.
Yeah, same exact idea.
Okay, and then can you just talk a little bit about what Google shows versus what you actually saw when talking to the customer?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, when you're performing these tests, make sure you have the right columns included in your final reporting. So if you're doing a retention test, you're going to want to make sure to add the win back column in your Google Ads columns. And that's going to show you not how many customers came back, but how many purchases took place from those win back customers within that list that you initially added. Now, initially, when I was reviewing the results within the ads platform, it showed 30 win back conversions, which is still a success, in my opinion, depending on the customer. But in our case, it was a success for sure. But I wanted to get a more accurate representation of what was really going on. And luckily, my client was able to help provide me some of that additional reporting. So they actually went into their e-commerce platform, took a look at the customer list they initially gave me and cross-referenced any customers who rebought. And we actually saw that of those 748 people who repurchased, they placed 970 orders, which is a lot higher than 30 orders that we saw on Google Ads. So I think in general, you have to be a little bit careful here. The reporting is very muddy. And if you can cross-reference your actual e-commerce platform data with what you're seeing on the ads account, I think that will help paint a better picture of what's actually going on.
Okay, and so this was a 1 month test. You had uploaded about 170,000 emails of customers who had purchased in this 3-year period and have not purchased since. Then what Google is showing is almost 30, but because you work directly with the client, you can cross-reference that list of people and see all the sales that came through. And because of that, we know that out of that 170,000 lapsed customers, 748 of them unlapsed. And
Correct.
then they turned into almost 1,000 orders, 970 orders. And the conversion value, again, removing some of the additional value, was just a hair under $400,000.
Correct.
Okay, so it just seems to me that one of the reasons that this is a success, at least for you, is the communication and working with the client. Would you say that that's accurate? If somebody's going to do this, that they can't just look at the platform metrics?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's too soon to tell if the internal reporting will improve over time. But as for now, definitely the key, I think, to running these tests is having that open communication with your client.
Okay, so if somebody was doing lapsed targeting, you would say that they should be working closely with their client. What do they need pre and what do they need post in order to get that reporting correct?
Pre, they would need to be able to direct their client through uploading the first party data to the ads platform, whether that be that lapse list and that total purchasers list, so that you can reference them when setting up the campaign itself. And then post, they should be able to communicate to the client what they needed them to look into, referencing that initial lapsed customer list and being able to see in the e-commerce platform if those customers repurchased.
Okay, and that it wasn't in the article, but you off the top of your head know roughly about how much was spent to get this near $400,000 of lapsed sales back?
It was included. It was just
Oh, I
shy of
missed it.
$16,000.
Okay. So that's a pretty good return. So
Yes.
cool. So I just think that everybody kind of hates on PMAX sometimes, but you're bullish on some of these new changes and you're testing regularly.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think the nature of PMAX, at least for e-commerce, is shifting now that we have some more insight into seeing channel reporting. And now that we know the majority, for most cases, Performance Max campaigns are showing up on the search results page versus Gmail versus YouTube, display, other networks. So naturally, when I first saw that, I was like, I don't know if there are a lot of case scenarios where I'd prefer PMax over shopping if it means the search engine results page. Now we have AI Max to take care of search. So it's like, what does that mean for PMax? Obviously, we have display campaigns, YouTube, everything. So what does that mean for PMax? I think this is possibly a great way to leverage PMax in e-commerce accounts. If you can get it to work for you, this is going to be my go-to if a customer or a client comes to me and wants to run a retention test or wants to acquire new customers in addition to any type of promotions.
Awesome. Anything else you want to say about PMAX or anything in general, Maggie?
No, I think PMax is a necessary evil in most accounts, and I do, and I'm a firm believer, and if you can get it to work for you, it can do some pretty good things.
Okay. And obviously work with that team that is your client or internally. Make sure you get all those resources so you can prove it out beyond just platform metrics like Maggie was saying. But really appreciate you taking the time today. I love the article. And if people want more of you, where would they go to follow you, Maggie?
Yeah, you can follow me on LinkedIn, just at Maggie Humphrey. I also write for Search Engine Land regularly as well, so you can keep up with me there.
Okay. Thank you so much for taking the time, Maggie. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
On to our playlist of curated songs to work to, which you can find over at playlist.marketingclock.com. Jess, what are you adding this week?
Well, if you were sitting next to me on the plane yesterday, this is a curated song to listen to while flying because my headphones weren't connected and I didn't realize. So blasting through my phone was Rat Finks, Suicide Tanks, and Cannibal Girls by White Zombie.
Nice.
What did the person next to you say?
Nothing. I was in between two strangers and neither of them even looked at me, which is why it took me so long to realize that it wasn't the fact that my ears were just plugged and I thought it was just sounded bad. I thought it was me. No, nobody said anything. It was also while they were playing the safety announcement for the plane. So I just felt real disrespectful.
The craziest thing is you had that clown makeup on from his movie. Do you know that clown?
Oh, I do.
It's like the scariest looking villain ever.
Yeah, he's really scary.
Google Rob Zombie clown. What is the name of that movie?
I'm trying to think. It's from House of a Thousand Corpses. That's the name of the film.
It's
that guy.
Ew.
What is his name?
Captain
Spaulding. It's been a long time since I've seen that movie.
He died. R.I.P. Captain Spaulding.
Yeah, he did.
Isn't that the scariest clown you've ever
Yeah,
seen?
I really
Yeah.
don't like that.
Yeah, he's not a good gentleman either.
It's itchy.
Yeah. Anyway, they let me on the plane like that, so whatever.
All right, I'm going to go with Lana Del Rey. Do you know that there's a tunnel underneath Ocean Boulevard?
I'm going to go Viva La Vida by Coldplay.
Oh!
Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay.
It is now.
All right. That does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Thanks for listening.
We miss you already.
We can't wait to see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered.